Hello guys, Elf here, ElfNet Designs, Communications and Gaming. And, well, here it is. This is the rebuilt Motorola GMRS repeater. It's buttoned up in its box, sitting on my kitchen table. There's the side. We have our power, AC mains. We have a battery backup that goes in here, our antenna. There's a duplexer in here. It's been tuned. There's our remote access stuff here. It will be patched in at the site. Let's open this. Take the top off. And here it all is. We got our big power supply here. I did a video on this repeater back when it was in its original state, when it was in MSR2000, but come to find out that MSR2000 had a problem with the main driving the bits down here, the receiving and exciter. It wasn't coming on. The PA deck was good, and I didn't put it back in here. I have these two radios here in the mic. Instead, we'll be mounting this on site, probably in here somewhere. Self-tapping screws. We might put it here, not sure. Well, we'll walk you through it. We had our big power supply here. Gives us our 12 volts DC rails here. Radios are tied in. There's a receiver, of course, and our transmitter. These do have two frequencies in them. I'm only using the one. We have our CSI 9800 controller with the plate that I redone. I did a video on this controller in the past. It's been programmed. It's ready to go. It's all in here. Radios are mounted on a shelf properly, bolted in. Everything's secure. Security bolts and all of this. And the original duplexer that was in this radio has remained. All I had to do was put the spectrum analyzer in it and tune it just a very little to get it on the frequency that I changed it to. These radios throw 25 watts, but because of the losses through the duplexer, it's about 20 watts or so, 20 and a half. It is going on a tower that is 482 feet tall, with the antenna on it at the top reaches it's a 20-foot antenna, one of those DB model 400 megahertz antennas, the commercial. It's well over 500 feet. We're going to try it with 25 watts. If it doesn't give me the coverage that I like, I will be taking the transmit radio back in software and turning the RF way down to half a watt or so, and putting that PA deck back in here and creating another bus over here for it to go in, and be hooking that in. And it will give me, it's a 100 watt PA deck, but of course in GMRS we're going to be down on 50 watts of it. I'm not going to push it at 100 because I want to stay legal. I do have a GMRS license, so all this is legal. I was told by an FCC rep that wideband radios could still be used in GMRS. It comes from the FCC. Just in case it wasn't, I do have the PM400s that I could have put in here, but that repeater is actually living on my bench with the RIC hooked to it and an external antenna. This one's going into the field, and I already have a customer that would want to use it. But first we're going to do field test to see how it works like it is. It's on a pretty tall tower, but I shouldn't need a bunch of RF coming off of it. But in case I need it, I do have the PA final for it. If that PA don't work, I do have a Crescent final, a 50 watt final, that I could go in here. I could put in. And I may actually go with that one because it is brand new. It is brand new. It's still in its box with all its packing material. It has never been used in its UHF. I did write the frequencies on this. The PL code, of course, 151.4 seems to be the standard for GMRS. I like to never got the original ink off of this thing. And here's a radio. Key up the radio. Oh, somebody programmed the test CWID in. I'll go back and take that out because in my business we don't use Morse code identifiers and we don't use Roger beeps. That crap is just annoying, especially when it's happening every other time you mash the transmit button or so many times per hour. People and commercial and GMRS users don't want Roger beeps and PTT identifiers. In fact, I already have not PTT identifiers, but CW identifiers. I mean, this is not a ham radio, so I'm going to take that out. That was put in as a test to make sure that it was passing audio from the controller to transmitter, which it is. And I'm going to go back in and remove that because I do not want it. I don't know anyone that's going to be using the radio that does want it. If it was a ham radio and hams like all those bells and whistles, then I would leave that crap in just to appease them. But this will never be a ham radio. This will always be either commercial. Well, it'll never be a commercial radio again because it's wideband. It will now forever be a GMRS radio until it burns itself out or dies, and then it will go to the junk and be replaced by something else. But for now, until its death, it will remain a GMRS 2-channel repeater operating on one channel, of course, with no Roger beep, no CWID. The FCC licensing information will be taped onto the back of the door for legal reasons, of course. And I can't wait to get this off my kitchen table. I had to put it up here last night to put the final stuff in to wire the controller so I could sit down and not squat on the floor in the shop. And it weighs probably a quarter or so less than the original unit did. I'm happy with it. Needless to say. And down at the site, we're going to patch. I'm going to remove this because I'm not going to have a remote control or anything. I may use this lug and mount a switch in here as an intrusion detection and then try to get on a pin in here for an overheat protection and wire on L2 and L1 as intrusion and wire it into the site's alarm panel, which in turn will send me a text message if there's an alarm that rings. I've got 8 other repeaters in that site, and if any of them have problems, I get a message. And this right here will plug straight into one of the power bays on a 12-volt rail, and this will also help charge it. I may bridge a diode across so the voltage from here doesn't go back into the power bay because it's already got its own charger, but if needed, I could put a switch to bypass it if needed. If I wanted 2 antennas, I could put another one there, but we're not doing that. Now to plug right in the power bay. If there's a power failure at the site, it'll start drawing power from the site bay until the backup generator kicks in, and then it'll click all over. And yeah, on the back of it, nothing back here to see, so I will be putting a heavier cord on this. This is one I had here. But yeah, it's the it'll forever be GMRS until these radios die finally. After that, we might salvage the power supply if it don't die, or definitely keep the controller in that duplexer. As far as radios going, everything's going narrowband. This I just can never bring myself to turn good radios like this into ham radios. I just can't do it. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys with it. It's probably the last time you'll see him on my kitchen table. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later.